All right, everyone, welcome back to the Something in the Wild podcast. Tyler Smith here with Matt Reese.
Back again.
We are, if you can't tell, we are not at my house. We're not in my office. Where are we at?
About 1,600 miles away from it.
Just about. We're in beautiful, colorful Colorado, the eastern half of the state right now, where it's very, very flat. But we're coming up on the mountains here. We're about, probably 2 hours away from Denver. And we're going hunting, obviously. I mean, what else would we be doing? We got a mule deer tag, we got an elk tag. We're heading out. It's our second time this year, if you guys have been paying attention. If you haven't, and this is the first thing you're watching, make sure to go back and check out the last video of us going out to Colorado. A lot of fun, super epic. It was during the elk rut, muzzleloader hunting. Absolutely awesome. This time though, we got a little bit longer range weaponry with us. We got some rifles. I got my 30-06. What do you got?
300 Ultra Mag.
300 Ultra Mag. He's gonna be pushing it out a lot farther than me. My max is right around I'd say 300 yards. You're closer to what, 500?
Yeah, 5 to 8. We'll see what happens.
5 to 8, yeah. Depends on the situation, obviously. Depends on the conditions, but as of right now, yeah, we're really freaking excited, man. We've been driving now for 20 hours straight. We didn't stop anywhere. Just stopping for gas, going to the bathroom, getting coffee, getting Red Bulls. This drive is made possible due to Red Bull.
Sponsored by Red Bull.
Sponsored by Red Bull. They made sure that we stayed awake the whole time. And honestly, we're kind of cruising. Yeah. I don't know. It hasn't seemed like that bad of a drive. This is my now 4th time making this drive. Well, 4th trip out here. This would be my 7th time actually making the drive itself. This would be your 3rd.
Yeah.
And no, because you came out last year.
Yeah, last year. Then
so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So your 5th.
Yeah.
So your 5th trip out here. Yeah. So this is gonna be fun, man. I'm looking forward to it.
I don't know why, but this is like the smoothest drive.
Yes.
For some unknown reason.
Yeah, this has been very, very mellow, very great weather. It's been super clear the whole time. Cool, in the 30s basically the whole time we've been driving out here. Right now it's at 58 degrees. Supposed to get pretty chilly whenever we get up in the mountains here. But yeah, let's talk first about our strategy, what we're trying to do here, and then we'll go into our expectations. I think that's a good spot.
Yeah. We know the expectations.
Yeah, we know the expectations. Yeah. So right now we are, like I said, driving in. We got to stop at Bass Pro Shop first. It's saying right now we're going to get to our spot at around 3:40. Now that's not including a stop to Bass Pro Shop, which is probably going to take another hour, I'd say, just because we got to get off the highway, go to Bass Pro, get all the stuff that we need. Need to print Matt's license out there. So we got to take care of all that stuff before we get out there. Probably going to get out there around 4:30ish or so. I don't know. I would be really happy if we got out there at 4:30. But so it's going to be a quick evening hunt here. This is the opening day, Saturday the 26th, second rifle season of mule deer and elk. Now, like I said, I have a mule deer tag. Matt's got an over-the-counter elk tag. And we're thinking, because Colorado, I think it's this year and last year, they offer the over-the-counter tags in all units that are over-the-counter for a second rifle. So because my tag is specific to this unit that we're heading to, my mule deer tag, we're gonna really hit the mule deer hard and try and get one as quickly as possible. I'm not in it for huge deer, I'm in it for the meat. So if we run across a big deer, I'm not gonna complain one bit, but I'm thinking anything legal.
Yep.
Unless it's the first night and it's a little tiny 40, then maybe we'll hold off. But I'm thinking anything after the first night, and the first morning are fair game. We'll just see what happens. If I'm excited about it, I'm going to take a shot, man. I mean, I need some meat. We ran out of elk meat from last year.
Oh, are you completely out now?
We still got like probably maybe like 30, 40 pounds of ground left, maybe a little bit more. But that's like a mix between that elk and the deer that I shot last year.
Okay.
But that's like the only meat that we have. So we're in a meat crisis right now in the Smith household. So that is our priority numero uno. Is just get some to fill the cooler up. But hopefully that's not too challenging, but you never know out here. And then once that takes place, then we're gonna hit the elk hard. I don't know if the unit that we're going to is very good for elk hunting.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see.
We'll see what happens. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure because there's a lot of roads in this unit specifically. So yeah, that's what we're doing for mule deer. We got some pins laid out. Gonna hit some BLM lamb first. Kind of get away from the pressure, I'm hoping, because a lot of the pressure is going to be focused on the elk. A lot of pressure on elk. If we can get away from the elk hunters, I think we'll have good success with mule deer.
The mule deer don't seem to be, like, they don't react as much to the pressure, it seemed like, just from the last trip.
Yeah.
Just because, like, we were in areas where there was a lot of pressure in the beginning, and we still were seeing those mule deer bucks.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there was tons of pressure where we were at in September, and that's what he's talking about is people everywhere, but we were still seeing real nice mule deer, like some certified tanks, like some studs. We saw like 3 or 4 of them. Within rifle range, obviously. So that's really what we're looking for here.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Man, if we could see one within 200 yards off the rip, that would be awesome.
Oh, it's going to be so hard not to just whale lead. Yeah,
especially if it's in range right away. I'm like, man, come on.
Ot 6 is going to be shooting flames.
Yep. So we'll see what happens, but that's the vibes now. What are your expectations, man?
Double kill.
Double kill?
I'm feeling very optimistic.
Yeah.
The stars have aligned on the way out.
Yeah. Well, go into what you're talking about there. Yeah, our superstitions. What are we talking about here? Why are we so optimistic right now?
First off, I screwed up last trip. I switched up wristbands on my Garmin. Shouldn't have done that. We went back to the orange because that's what I wore last year and we killed on the first day. So we're back to that.
Yep.
Then you.
Oh, yeah. So with my actual job that I actually do on a day-to-day basis, I made a couple sales, $200,000 in sales, actually. So that's good. Good news. Because last time, whenever we came out here and we killed, I made a huge sale. Like literally on the drive, while we were driving, I got the email that the purchase order came through. So that was really awesome. Kind of lining up there. We got a new moon. Which is going to be cool for, not only is it like a superstition type thing, but it's also going to be amazing because we're going to be able to see a bunch of stars, which will be really fun.
The Milky Way is going to be lit up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, that's like my favorite part about coming out here is just like seeing the stars, like just the absolute vast expanse of stars in the sky at night whenever it's really, really dark.
There's just something different about being like out here in the middle of nowhere looking at the stars too.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to try and get as far away from any sort of civilization as we possibly can to see some stars. Especially for elk, because that's going to be crucial.
That's key.
Yeah. What else?
Monday night football game, Steelers.
Oh yeah, the Steelers play on Monday night. Last time we were out here, the Steelers played on Monday night, so we were able to catch the game after we butchered the elk. So that was cool. And they play again this Monday night, so it's happening again. It's lining up.
Stars are aligning.
Yep. What else? Was there anything else?
I don't remember.
I can't really remember.
There might be something else, but I'm not sure.
There was a lot of stuff that was going on that we were like, holy cow, like this is...
We were just listing them off on the way out.
Yeah. So that's cool. I'm really, really, really excited, man. It's gonna be a good one.
Oh,
now for, yeah, I mean, it's kind of what's going on. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on back at home, because I know a lot of people that listen, whitetail hunters, usually. So we've been going out. You've been going out a lot. I've been going out a lot. I haven't been out the past week, just because, well, I was out the past weekend out in Gettysburg. Did some talking about that on last week's episode. But kind of fill us in on your season so far.
It's been slow.
Yeah.
Been a struggle finding feed.
Mm-hmm.
Found last year's acorns, which is a little bit discouraging.
Yeah.
I started off the season just hunting out of a tree, not doing much walking around, because it was so early in the season. You don't want to spread your scent everywhere, pressure up the deer, especially like the area that I hunt. Those deer are real spooky, especially a big buck. I mean, your chances of seeing them are just once a year. You got one opportunity, so you got to really try to seize that opportunity.
Yeah.
But
And you're talking about feed. Like, what are you finding specifically while you're out there?
I'm looking for acorns.
Yeah. Is that like
Just-
main thing?
That's pretty much the only thing that's out there.
Yeah. What about
Acorns.
because
They
I know
feed on like fern roots and stuff like that whenever it comes
Yeah.
winter time.
Yeah.
And like years that there's not feed, they feed on those real early. But
Uh-huh.
the last couple of years have been bad feed years. Like with the gypsy moss and everything, it's just really hasn't been a good acorn crop.
What's the
So-
gypsy moss? What is that?
Like the gypsy moss?
Yeah.
Like in the trees?
No, yeah, I've never heard of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, they were like a huge problem the last 2 years.
Is it like some sort of disease?
Yeah, like
Okay.
they're bugs that live in the trees and they come out like every,
Oh.
I forget how many years, but like they kill off trees. And if
Really?
this, like there's places that the state sprayed for them, and the places that the state did, like they do aerial spraying with
Yeah,
planes.
yeah.
And the places that they did spray for them, the acorn crop's good, but out where I hunted, they didn't spray for them yet. So
Do you know where they sprayed for 'em?
they did like Black Shannon, like game lands, sprayed game lands. I watched one over in like Bullsburg, the plane. That was pretty neat. Watching a sprayer come over.
That is cool. That is cool. I remember I did a story, like I did a article. I think I might have wrote an article, or I did a podcast about them spraying.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was for gypsy moss though. I
Yeah.
thought it was for something else, but
Yeah.
it was some sort of bug.
Yeah, they like make they're nasty.
Yeah.
They're just like in every tree. There's like a huge nest of them. They'll be all throughout the branches. And They
Really?
just kill the trees. Yeah.
How big are they?
They're not that big,
Yeah.
but
That's interesting. Yeah, I know around me, the acorn crop wasn't great. Like it wasn't what it's been in the past. It's just kind of one of those off years. I know like my spot that I really like to go to near the house, I like have not found any acorns there, but I'm still seeing deer. Like I'm
Yeah.
still seeing bucks,
it's
still seeing a lot of
spotty.
doe.
Like, I'm not saying there isn't any feed out there. There's obviously deer. I've been seeing
Yeah.
some does, but
A lot of like brow. They're probably
Yeah,
just like focused more on like
yeah,
green twigs, browsy stuff.
yeah, and like it's just spotty. Like some areas you'll have an acorn crop every year. Some areas it's hit or miss. Some trees are like every 3 years they have a good acorn crop. It
Yep.
just kind of really depends where you're at.
Yeah, that's kind of the struggle that I've been getting into. But now that it's kind of getting into the later part of October, like I said, October 26th, this is like prime time to be in the whitetail
Yeah.
woods at home, which is kind of unfortunate to miss. But this is
But when
this is
we're
the
back-
next best thing.
Yeah,
this
next best thing. This
is the best.
this
Yeah,
is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
right
you can't beat it. They're good in their own way. They're good in their own way, but
It's two completely different styles of hunting too.
yeah,
Just
yeah, it is for sure. And I'm going to ask you this right now, and this is going to be a controversial topic for, people that might live and die by Western big game. My personal opinion, and I want to hear what you got to say about it. Actually, I'm going to ask you first. What do you think is easier? You think that Western hunting is easier, or do you think that whitetail Eastern hunting is easier?
I think that there's several things that factor into it. Obviously, the elements out here,
Yeah.
like temps, altitude, But back home, it's tough hunting sometimes. In the hardwoods,
Yeah.
There's places in PA they're just as steep as they are out here. You just don't have the elevation. You aren't
Not
climbing
as much elevation,
5,000 feet. You're getting like 2,000 feet max, but still, that's 2,000 feet elevation. That you got.
Exactly.
It's really, you really have to be strategic back home.
Yes. It's just different. It's really, really different.
They really are so different.
Yeah. I like overheating. Hang on 1 second. Let me see if I can get you guys cooled off a little bit here. I'm getting the overheating message.
I think the part that makes it seem easier out here is just like how vast the land is and like how many animals you do see.
Low densities.
Yeah. Like you can go days without seeing deer in PA. But out here you can at least pick up a mule deer or something while you're glassing. Stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the thing too, I think. So here's my opinion. I think that physically, Western hunting not way more, but it's more demanding. It depends on what kind of hunting you're doing out east. Like if you're hiking through like the central Pennsylvania mountains trying to hunt white-tailed deer, it's physically demanding. Yeah, it's physically demanding. It's tough to walk through this thick brush. You're dealing with briars. You're dealing with these thick vegetation.
And just so many more rocks. Like the rock.
Yeah.
Like out here, the ground's so soft. It's just.
Yeah, like there's a lot of soil.
Yeah. It's nice on the feet.
Yes. So I think physically, you got to be in better shape to be hunting out here. You got to cover more ground with your feet. All right, we just overheated a little bit, but what I was saying was the physically demanding part of being out here is you can't overlook it.
No.
But I also will say that's a reason why I think that hunting out here is a little bit easier, because if you do have that stamina, if you do have the endurance, like the mental willpower to just cover ground with your feet, just cover area, and specifically utilizing your glass, like utilizing binoculars, tripods, and all this stuff to spot deer, you can make something happen whenever there might not be something to be had at that point in time. Like you can cover ground and you can make something happen. On the other hand, hunting whitetails, hunting out east specifically in these the big woods, deciduous forest, you can't really be spotting deer. Now you do it a lot with like long range glassing and long range shooting, but not a lot of people have access to that.
No, and it's only a certain time of the year. It's not like you can do that in archery season or like once the foliage comes off, like the leaves come off, you can spot, but until that point, you're kind of screwed. Because you can't see the side of the mountain when there's leaves on every tree.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not until winter. It's not
until like bear rifle season.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's still trees with leaves on them. You just gotta hope and pray for a hard wind, and it'll blow the rest of the leaves off for rifle season.
Yeah, so that's my biggest thing, I think. And spending.
Coyote.
That's a coyote. Yep. Dead coyote on the side of the road there. I'm surprised we haven't seen any antelope yet.
I know.
I'm sure we probably passed some, but this is prime antelope country. But anyway, I think that's just the big allure out west for me specifically. I go out hunting out near in Pennsylvania, and you go out, sit up in the stand, and you just gotta wait.
Yeah.
And it has its benefits and it has its specific positives. I love sitting in the tree stand, don't get me wrong.
Me too.
I love
it's very meditative.
Yes, being very quiet, trying to sneak through the woods very cautiously. But it's a good change of pace whenever you can come out here, you could just you can just walk. You just hike as far as you can possibly hike, and try and turn up deer. I don't know. It's just interesting. It's an interesting argument.
Yeah, and like you can take this style of hunting back home with you, and you can use it. Like my cousin, he prefers to hunt from the ground and stalk deer. He's too like he can sit in a tree stand, but he doesn't love sitting in a tree stand.
Yeah.
He'd rather walk and find deer.
Yeah.
Because his like theory on it is, it's a better day when you're actually seeing them. Like, so what if you kick them up? It's like you're at least seeing deer.
Yeah. Does he do that during the archery season?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That's what last weekend he told me they saw 60 deer just off the ground.
Oh yeah, you were saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, just stalking them.
Does he have like success getting close to him?
Oh yeah.
Really?
He's killed a lot of bucks off the ground.
Yeah.
Just stalking like that.
I do see that a lot, and I do want to try it, but I feel like you have to have very specific conditions.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not like out here where you can like just bull rush. The woods are a lot louder in PA.
Yes. A lot of more leaves. There's not as much dirt. It's all like the whole forest floor is covered in leaves.
And you like step on a rock underneath a leaf and it makes a
little
noise.
Like crackling or like sticks on the ground.
So his approach to it is like 5 minutes. Like he'll sit at a spot of like 5-10 minutes. He'll take, I don't know, like walk like 10-15 yards and sit there like 5-10 minutes. He's not like constantly moving.
Yeah.
He's just like working his way around, you know?
And I think a big thing what makes that successful is like that's how deer walk through the woods.
Yeah.
That's what like a lot of people will say whenever you have to make sound like a deer. Like whenever you hear deer, you're sitting in your tree stand, you hear a deer coming in, it goes shh, 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 and then it'll stop. And then it'll go shh, 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 and it'll stop like again. So they're not just walking at an even keel, even pace for a long period of time. They're taking a few steps, they're sniffing around. They're taking a few steps, they're eating some acorns. So like kind of matching that cadence, matching the gait of a deer, I think that's pretty crucial, but I don't know, I just haven't mastered it yet.
Nah, I can't say I've really tried it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'd like to try that. I forget who was saying it on the one podcast, but hitting the grunt, like as you're like making noise through the woods.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that could.
Yeah, that was in that Meat Eater.
Yeah, it was just a story.
Yeah, just a story of he was walking through like this field that was frosted over, and he like every step was like crunchy, like very, very crunchy. So he would like take a couple steps and grunt, take a couple steps, grunt. So I definitely think that there could be some serious benefits to that. Specifically, though, you'd have to find an area that deer aren't very pressured, I think.
Yeah.
Not called to as much. That's tough to do in Pennsylvania.
Come on out with me, buddy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any hunters out where I'm at hunting.
Really?
My brother and I. That's it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah,
There's just not a lot of people that are.
Yeah. I see stands all the time everywhere I go.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen any hunters while I've been out there, which is good.
I mean, a lot of people like they aren't super into it till rut comes in, that cold front. So.
Yep.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah. Whenever the rut comes in, whenever the rifle season comes in, that's whenever people get real into it.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing our first little bit of mountains right here.
Yeah.
Finally. We're almost there, baby. Oh, I should probably throw in the Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah.
That was one thing whenever I first came out here. I just loved it so much that I was like, how can I take this and incorporate it into my hunting game back home?
Yeah.
And it's tough. It is really, really tough, especially around my house, because there's not, it's more level, it's more rolling hills, while yours is more open woods.
Yeah, it's hollows, big hollows.
Yeah, and there's you can see a little bit further.
Yeah, you can see a mile, 2 miles.
Yeah.
Some places.
Yeah, so it's like around me, I can only see 20 yards, 30 yards at a time. So it's just so thick, it's so overgrown. a lot of these trees have been cut down very recently. So trying to find a balance here. I do want to make it out to your place though, and
Yeah, you
and
need to.
and do some like some spot stock style hunting.
Yeah, I'd love to like do a backpacking trip, like a weekend, like just bomb in somewhere a couple miles, just middle of nowhere.
Yes.
And then we hunt it hard for like 2 days.
I'm absolutely in on that.
That'd be so fun.
Because that's another thing too that I don't.
For about 53 miles, continue straight in.
We're stopping in Bass Pro. That's another thing too that I really like about hunting out here that you just don't really have the opportunity to do in Pennsylvania. It's backpack hunting.
Yeah.
Having all your hunting gear, having camp on your back, and just walking, trying to find a spot, trying to find sign, and just hunting that way. That's what does it for me.
Yeah.
The camping out in the woods is what I really, really like to do.
You need to come on my way.
Yeah.
We can definitely do that. There's areas in PA you can do it. It's just not as easily accessible as I shouldn't say easily accessible, but you got to drive a little bit for it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's not as much access and there's not as many like large parcels that you can do it.
Yeah.
And even if you do find a large parcel, they're changing the rules for camping. You know, like
you got pay to camp.
Yeah, you got these state parks that have huge areas of land, but you can only camp in these designated campgrounds, and you got to pay. You can't camp in state game land. You can only camp in state forest. But they're even changing that rule now.
You got to have a fire permit.
Yeah, so it's just they make all of these rules. They make it a lot harder out east to do that backcountry style camp, like spike camp type hunt. And it's unfortunate.
Live for.
Yeah, that's what I live for, man. That is the pinnacle of outdoor recreation, in my opinion. It combines everything that I love to do. You know, I love hunting, love gathering my own food, love hunting for my meat, love camping. Did I already say that? Might have.
It's all right to be repetitive.
And love just being out as far as I possibly can be, away from the road, away from any other type of pressure.
Civilization.
Yes.
I just love being in the woods. Like, I don't need a phone.
Nope.
Like, I don't need to talk to anybody. I just need to be in the woods.
Yep.
Like,
yeah, just being away from cell service, man. That's the name of the game for me.
it's just a humbling experience. Like, it's you versus nature.
Yeah.
Like,
Teaches you a lot about yourself too.
yeah, and you don't have, like, you can't just call somebody if something's going wrong. Like, you got to be a problem solver.
Yep.
In the moment, you got to make the right call, the right decisions. So
yeah, and in like the world that we live in now, it's so fast paced. There's so much going on any given day. There's so much that you could be doing. Like, oh, I could be going to work and fixing this specific problem, or trying to get ahead doing something else, like going to the store, getting groceries, all this stuff. And whenever you go out in these wild areas, these wild places, the only thing that you're focused on is surviving. It's food, water, shelter. It's the only thing you got to worry about.
you're literally worried about the task at hand, and that's
yes. It's very, very refreshing.
Yeah.
I think it changes you as a person. It really does.
Oh, 100%.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, gotta love that Colorado infrastructure.
Yeah. Doesn't matter though. Game wardens are awesome out here.
The game wardens are nice out here.
Every person that I've talked to, like, that has hunted like a western state, like not even just Colorado, but like Idaho, Montana.
Yeah.
Like, every one of them say about how the wardens you encounter are just cool dudes that are willing to have conversations. Like, the first thing a PA game warden's gonna, let me see your license. They're trying to find you right away.
Yep.
Whereas these dudes out here, they're like, how's it hunting? Like, giving you pointers and stuff. Like, it's refreshing. It's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. Well, how could they not be like in such a great mood? They're out here on these like huge parcels, huge tracts of public land, just like embracing nature and enforcing the law.
Yeah.
which I respect it, man. I respect those guys a bunch.
Oh, I know.
They got some sick trucks too.
Yeah, I know. This would be such a sweet job to have out
yeah,
here.
yeah, it would be. It would be.
And
So,
just like they walk up to you and talk to you like a human.
mhm.
They don't. It's not like a hostile environment. Like
They're
you
not like it's
automatically-
not like a gotcha.
Yeah.
Type of,
feel like you did something wrong as soon as they walk up, kind of thing.
yeah. Definitely. Yeah. So, I'd be fine. I'd be fine running into another game warden.
Oh yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Like,
I think they could definitely give us some better information too.
yeah.
See where the deer are at. See if they're seeing people that are having success. That'd be nice. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. This is gonna be an awesome trip.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to cover? It was a pretty good conversation.
Yeah, I think it was a good conversation.
Yeah. Now I gotta upload this thing while I'm in the car, so I
Yeah.
still got a lot of work that I gotta do.
This has also been our entire trip. This is just us talking.
Yeah, exactly. This is hour 20 of us in the car together. So, this is what I wanted. This is what I want to talk about, though. I don't think we really covered this specifically.
Nah, we've been talking politics the entire way.
Oh yeah, gosh, don't even get me started. But yeah, guys, appreciate you watching. Stay tuned. This is going to be coming out on Tuesday, so hunting is going to be in full swing. Hopefully, we got something by Tuesday.
I hope and pray.
But
I have a feeling God's on our side.
yes, yeah, that's good. That's good. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Stay tuned. Make sure keep it wild.